Yay, it's back. 1 week off. Hello everybody and welcome to Sunday Q&A. First of all, thanks very much for all your support. I did put a video out this week saying where I am right now. I won't lie to you. I am suffering from mild depression, which is something I thought I would never do, but I have. But I'm not going to focus on it because for two reasons. Firstly, because I don't really. It's really difficult to read out comments of going, keep your chin up and don't worry, mate, and all that kind of stuff. I take them on board and I'm very grateful for them. But it's almost a bit like self-aggrandisation or something like that. And so I'm just going to aeroplane over that one a little bit. And besides, it's not what the channel's all about. The channel is about the courier thing, and it's about helping people, and it's about solving problems and comical things and all that. Having said that, I have just recorded a video about what mild depression is all about, because I've experienced it and there might be other people out there. You might be in a similar situation. You might find that you're struggling for jobs and you can't pay the bills and you don't know where the next thing's coming from. And I think it helps to listen to someone and go, yeah, I've got that. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, that's happening to me. And then, I'm not saying it's not going to magically make it disappear, but it will sort of, at least you know you're not alone type thing. And I might put that out this week. I've just recorded it and I said to myself, I said at the end of the video, I don't even know if I'm going to put it out, but I might put it out this week. Having said that, I'll also put out the video of where I went up to Hexatronic, which is one of those Life on the Road videos. So don't feel the need to watch the depression video. You don't have to. It's more out there as like a one-off for people that might be suffering from it and might watch it and it might make them feel better. That's kind of the plan. Like I say, but feel free to zoom over it and just watch the Hexatronic one, and we'll try and get things back to normal as soon as possible. At least I've got support from animals. What are you doing? Get out. Right. So we've done the question of the week. Now, do you remember a little while ago, I said I was going to do question of the week from the Q&A, and of course I haven't done it, not for any other reason, I just haven't got around to it. Well, I've been speaking to my mate, Nick the London creative, and apparently the thing now, always again, because you're thinking, well, if this business does go down, I'm going to need something else to do. And so some of the YouTube advertisers, some of the sort of social media thing, if I can get that ramped up a little bit, might help. Admittedly, it probably takes another 10 years to get where I'd need to be like, but the thing to do is to do sort of daily comments. So if everything goes according to plan, there'll now be daily comments on the TikTok and on the Instagram, which is under Pete the Courier Driver, surprisingly enough. So we're still doing the YouTube. But the thing about the other mob is it's a bit like when I used to do the 3-minute videos. You can just pick the phone up and you can go, oh look, here's a fork truck driver. Here's a really big fork truck. Boom, that's big, isn't it? Take care, take money, bosh. Takes about 40 seconds. Press click a couple of times and it's there. And it's also going to tie in with the secret project. Remember the secret project? Haven't mentioned secret project for a little while, which hopefully should be coming out soon. And so I kind of need to ramp up the cross-channel social media platform bing-bong nonsense in view of the secret project. Right, enough about that. Now on to things that are more important. Socks and sandals. So I went to the stage where it was really hot, and I decided that I was not going to walk around in heavy boots and thick socks during the summer because it was nonsense. So then I decided I was going to be like those mob that have the sliders and the sort of white socks. Couldn't get on with it. Felt a little bit sort of, it wasn't me, felt I'm a bit sort of mutton for it. I'm a bit too old, So then we went, and then I went, hold on a second, I don't even need to wear socks and sandals. A lot of people wear trainers. So on with the Converse. And I thought, I wonder how often I'm going to be asked to take my trainers off me. They're kind of Converse, they look a bit booty. take my trainers off and go in. And I've got my steels in the back of the lorry. And up until this moment, I have had to do it that many times. Not once. Yesterday was the first time I actually pulled up to the gate, and there was a lady lovely lady on reception. Looks a bit like Millie Tant out of his. But she sort of said, "You have a hard hat?" I said, "Yeah, I've got a hard hat." Then she looked at my shoes, and then never said a word. So it's almost a bit like, oh, they look like steels. I remember Tony saying the only time it ever came up on him was he was delivering to a Wicks, and a woman turned around and she said he had like Timberland boots on, and she went, "Those aren't steels." I said, "How did she know?" He went, "She stood on them." Okay, but no, up until this point, I haven't been asked to take them off. So, but the thing is, it's running in comfort, running in clothes that you're much more happy in. Still be smart, still be polite, always right, all polite, and having the kit ready. So if you do turn up at like a railway site and they go, "No, you need glasses, you need a hat, you need boots, you ain't coming in, just go give me 2 minutes," and then you walk out with your hat, your boots, they go, "Fine," and you go. So, Shane Hardy says GTA and take that in the same sentence. Never thought it would happen. Absolutely, Shane. What's not to like about either of those things? Although in fairness, I don't get on with GTA. Like, I do play some of the other games, not often anymore, but I do. Never get me around GTA. I was always too moralistic. Godzilla says, one of the mistakes I made was a high-vis t-shirt. I thought high-vis needs to be worn. Get a t-shirt in high-vis that will keep you cool in the summer. I thought that. Wrong. It's like wearing a plastic bag. Could not be more sweaty. I guess it's probably made out of polyester or something like that to get the high visibility about it. But yeah, that's another thing. I mean, the amount of people that I see, don't get me wrong, some of them need to do it for the insurance, some need to do it as part of their terms of contract. Where you see people driving around in trucks, the high visibility vests on, and you think, would you not just take that off and put it on when you get to the gate? And then wear it all the time in the distribution centre, and then as you leave the distribution centre, take it off again. Because do you really need to be sitting in what is effectively a plastic bag? But each their own. Steve Campbell says, I can't remember the last time I was made to put my boots on. High-vis mainly. Absolutely. They'll clock the fact you're not wearing an orange vest, but very rarely do people look down. So yeah, I agree with you, Steve. Philip Eagleton says, try Dunlop safety shoes, very light and a nice toe cap. Like wearing a pair of trainers, I've never had an issue when challenged on site. I've been wearing them for 5 years, not the same pair obviously. Good when you get a pair of boots you like, Phil. That's another one I wanted to do. I wanted to do one on the Timberlands, because we did the Boondocks and then we did the Timberland Pros. And the Timberland Pros were okay, but they weren't the Boondocks. We'll do a video on it, to make up for the one I've done about how sad I am at the moment. It's the weirdest thing. I used to know a guy, Nigel, and he was the jolliest person. You know, hello, how you doing? Really, he was really super duper happy. Then he came to work for me and we got to speaking, and he's a massive depressive. And he said, everybody sees me when I'm at work at the market. And I'm like, jolly, 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 jolly. And so I go home and I make myself a sandwich and I go to bed and I pull the covers over my head. Shocking, absolutely shocking. And you'd never know. He said his sister's on the pills for it. And he said, I could take the pills for it. He said, but he was a musician. Also, he used to like guitar. And he said, I'm frightened if I take the pills, they'll take my inspiration away. So he lived with it. I think a lot of people live with it. And Stephen Fry, sort of, you see all these people. If I remember at the end, I'll do you saddest joke. I'm just going to write it down. Saddest joke ever. Oh, this is really jolly. I can't imagine. I can see the unsubscribers pinging off left, right and centre. Stop talking to me, you miserable git. Right, back on safety shoes. Soothing sounds ASMR, said Pete. Have we done Puma ones? Dunlop ones. HGV Matt says, I bought some Puma safety shoes. I've seen them, they look pretty cool. Very comfortable to drive and work in, very light, conform to all safety standards. So yeah, there are safety shoes out there. I just like my Converse. Soothing Sound says, Pete, a lot of places won't have you wear rigger boots. I'd opt for a pair of lace-ups. Yeah, it can be an option. I mean, it does get to the point. I remember once where I turned up, I've said this before, I turned up to like Royal Mail or something like that at the centre. And it did say on the booking, must have long sleeve high visibility, of which I had a long sleeve high visibility. So I've gone in there in my long sleeve high visibility, and he went, yeah, you've got to have long sleeve high vis. And I'm wearing this orange thing. I look like a scarecrow. I'm like, mate, I'm wearing one. He said, yeah, but it's not yellow. I'm like, what do you want me to carry, a wardrobe? I mean, the lorry's not that big. You know, I'm just trying, like Mr. Ben. I'll just go and change into one of my outfits here. But yeah, I suppose, you know, what are you going to do? I've only got rigger boots or these ones. Which ones do you want? And sarcastic Brian, hello Brian, how you doing? Says, Pete, how many times have you dropped a pallet on your sandals? Surely not more than once. I've never dropped a pallet on my sandals. This high-vis nonsense that people wear with no common sense. With all the high-vis about the UK, do you need to answer? It's no canaries on the mainland for some reason. Is that what we call them, canaries? People who walk around in high-vis, I don't know. They seem to manage all right without it. Oh, no, mate. A lot of the time it's down to the insurance of the firms and all that kind of stuff, isn't it? But we have to comply. If we don't comply with the site, they won't let us in. If they don't let us in, we can't deliver. And if we don't deliver, we don't get paid. So there we go. So, all right, was one for the wise guys here today. Hulkster says, Pete, can you possibly help? I've got a delivery to the famous number 10 in London. Do you have any knowledge of where I drop it off? Obviously, it won't be through the garden gates. Now, you might. This was 2 weeks ago because I missed last week. So I would always say, and this is a weird one, look at the building and try to envisage the roads around it. Because the first thing I learned very early when I was in the van, deliveries go around the back. I had to deliver once on, is it Victoria Street? The one that runs by Buckingham Palace, the ones where like all the posh shops are. There's no way you're going to stop there. Not on like, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, red route buses everywhere. And you go, well, the shops must get the stuff somehow. So they either have to get it at like 2 o'clock in the morning and it's round the back. So you go, well, the shop I'm delivering to is there. Drive down the road, there's an entrance there. Let's just try that. So went down the entrance, round the back, and there it was. So what I would imagine is if you look at the map on Google Maps, see Downing Street, see where the building is, go along the road, see the roads that lead behind, down, it's off Whitechapel, isn't it? No, Whitehall rather. Past Downing Street. Dave the Crisps, if you're watching this, what's the road you delivered to down to? He'd know he's a black cab driver. He's my mate, he phoned me. It's another thing, people phone you all the time. My best mate phoned me 3 times this week. I said, you want suicide watch or something? But it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Yeah, so I would look at the building, look at the street behind the building, maybe try the street behind the building. Alternatively, you can just sort of, if you can find somewhere to stop, just sort of talk to the policeman. Go, mate, I've got a delivery. You're in your high-vis vest, you've got your paperwork. Mate, I've got a delivery. Do you know where I take this? Sort of people will help you. And there's Google. I did try Googling it, but it just, unfortunately, if you Google 10 Downing Street delivery, you get, this speech was delivered by Keir, this speech was delivered by Richie, and you're like, that's not what I wanted. But no, you've probably done it by now. If you've done it by now and you're listening, let us know. I'll pass it on to anyone else who's got to drop stuff off to the Prime Minister. Miscellaneous. MK707 says, hi Pete, what's the name of the beanie hat, the blue beanie hat? Where can I get it? Because I have a beanie hat on one of the videos. I use a firm, and I highly recommend this firm, called, if you type in M&M Direct, as in M&M like the sweeties, Direct, and they have an awful lot of branded stuff. Not super duper high end branded sometimes, but you can get things like, you get your Adidas and you get your sort of Lyle and Scotts and Crosshatch and Jack and Jones, and there's some of them more branded, North Face, there's stuff on there, and it's all very reasonable stuff. A lot of the time it's clearance, so a lot of the time it's the stuff that they've got left over, so the sizes always aren't brilliant, and if they are brilliant they tend to go quickly, but there's decent gear on there and it's not there. I don't get anything out of this, obviously. But yeah, if you type in M&M Direct, nice stuff. I got a t-shirt off them. A NASA t-shirt. I just fancied a NASA t-shirt. It's tenner. I don't think that was too bad. Sort of, yeah. There you go. Mitch Bullion Freight says, are you just swallowing Euro emissions fines since you've got a Euro 6, you've not got a Euro 6 truck, or are you avoiding the areas like the plague? Mitch, I'm avoiding them like the plague. For 2 reasons. Firstly, the fines. The only one that I will swallow is Birmingham. Because Birmingham, I don't think is overly dear. It's like 50 quid if you go in, 60 if you forget to pay. And I kind of think, well, you can almost make that money back on a job. If I've got a job going into Birmingham, and I can charge them another £30 on top because of the zone, and then I can pick one coming out of Birmingham and the same thing again. You can get your money back. You sometimes can get the zone charge on top. But as for things like London or Bath or Portsmouth or, you know, the centre of Newcastle, I tend to just not go because the fines are so big that you're just going to... I mean, don't get me wrong, we did do one going up to Newcastle and it was like 750 quid. Because it was going a long way, and I thought, well, I was getting £3 a mile. I thought, well, if I have to swallow the zone on that, I wasn't sure it was zone or not, and unfortunately, it turned out that it was. But you know, personally, and also for the reason number two is a lot of time anywhere that's got a big heavy zone charge is somewhere where traffic don't move anyway. So I'm going into London. So, okay, it's only going 4 miles, but it's going to take me 4 hours, 5 hours to drive it. Or I'm going into Birmingham, and Birmingham in the morning, and it's going to take me forever to get around it. So not only are these areas costing me to drive into, but they're also areas where the job takes a lot longer. So, no, I tend to avoid them. I mean, there may come a stage when the zones get so big that I have to change, but there may come a stage that by the time they do, I'll be doing something else by then anyway. So just have to wait and see, don't we, mate? Stuart Morgan says, is it not cheaper to rent? I know it's silly, but I've just rented a 7.5 tonne. I've got a couple of days doing removals, which is lucrative, but other days I just wanted to jump on the haulage exchange. I don't know. It depends, I suppose, if you can get the right deal. I'm always frightened of leasing because you sign up for a contract and then what happens if something goes south, you've got a lorry wrapped around you, like, you know. But if you've got the truck already, you're renting it already, and you've got days where it's sitting there doing nothing, I would say you could do an awful lot worse than jumping on the exchange and filling in your extra time. You say, well, the lorry's not out doing removals today, so I'm going to put it on a couple of local jobs, even if I do one job, just to, like, you know, sort of get myself a bit of pocket money. I think that could be a possible. You never know. And finally today, user... Oh, that's just a droid's name. He says, hi Pete, sorry to hear about your issues. Thanks, mate. Like I said, I'm trying not to sort of try not to get them drag me down. I'm an HG1 driver and who's had enough of trucks. I'm looking at going into my own career business. What is the best, sole trader or limited? All the best in the future. I would say from a protected point of view, I would say the only reason you really need to go limited is if you're going to be turning over a pile of money. If you're going to be turning over more than or making more than like 50 grand a year, there are certain tax incentives to go in limited. Also, there's the advantage of going limited is if something does go wrong with a company, then you have got some protection. If you go sole trader, but you keep yourself small, you keep your overheads low, you keep on top of things, all the things that I haven't done, you should be fine. And also from the point of view of the courier exchange, if you go in and if you just go, I just want sole trader, I just want the one subscription, I just want one app, I want the most basic package you have, I don't want any frills, it will be the cheapest way to sign up with the exchange, rather than if you go, I want limited and I want small fleet and I want all this stuff that I have now got and I don't really need. So that's it. So I did say, and feel free to cut it off here, here's a joke, saddest joke ever. Which is, guy goes to the doctors, and he says, doctor, I'm depressed. He says, I just cannot see, I feel horrible, I just can't motivate myself. He said, everywhere I just see is misery and horror. He said, I can't see the point in life anymore, like, you know. And the doctor says, he said, I've got just a solution for you. Peroni the Clown is in town. He's hilarious, Peroni the Clown. He's brilliant. He will make you smile. Go to the circus tonight. See Peroni the Clown. I guarantee he will lift your spirits. The geezer burst into tears. And the doctor says, what's wrong? He says, doctor, I am Peroni the Clown. My God, it's miserable. It's not that bad. It's never that bad. So, anyway, I'm on a week 5 now. Let's pray someone starts to pay me. If anybody has any outstanding invoices to Vanguard Transport that they feel they need to clear up early, please do. And in the meantime, I hope you guys are all cool. And I hope you are doing what I aim to do, which is to get out there and take care and take money. Thanks for listening.